Yo, what is going on? Let me unmute this man, Brandon. But welcome back to Coast to Coast. This thing might be way too damn loud in the background, so let me turn this thing down. But yes, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, Coast to Coast is here. And when I say it's here on CK2K, it's only here for one episode. I'm going to give you guys more information, more details on that. But you see, to my left or right, whatever it is for y'all, I got my boy Brandon back. Warr's World is in the building. I want to get my damn... it's okay. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon, he's back. My clap track.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Nick Nation? What's up, Coast to Coast? Loyalist.
Yeah,
what's up, y'all? We missed y'all.
Yeah, we back. Finally.
Yeah. I know.
Finally.
To be back.
We got a few announcements to make for those who have not heard all of the announcements as far as where this show is continuing. This is the first episode, but the only episode that we're going to have on CK2K for this season. I'll give all the information for that. The audio only listeners, if you're watching the VOD, that's not going anywhere. So if you're, subscribed to that or whatever the case may be on Google or iTunes or wherever you're at, that's not changing. But we have a new YouTube channel that is... Well, it's Coast to Coast. I made it nice and easy for y'all.
Very simple.
Yeah, real simple. About to drop that link in the chat for you guys right now. The link will be in the description for those after the fact. So you guys go subscribe to that. And we'll be here weekly on time. Today's the first episode. Graphics, all kind of craziness happened. But yeah, so we here. In the words of my man Caden Randall, we here. We are here and ready to go get into this NBA season. We let the first week of preseason roll through, let the training camps and all that fun stuff go through. But yeah, we here for Coast to Coast.
I'm excited, dude.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited.
Your Lakers are retooled and looking like they're ready to compete.
I don't know about my team, but I'm excited for basketball.
I was trying to hype us all up. Your Lakers are all ready to go. They're looking like they're ready to, go out there and compete and go for that championship. My Knicks coming off of our first, playoff run in almost 10 years.
Decade.
You know what I mean? So, and also too, we got another host. It's gonna be 3 of us, and this episode is just me and B Warr. But we got a third host that's going to be joining us starting next week, and that is none other than my little brother, Mr. Nick, aka Coda, the Dreamer. Most of y'all might know him by. Yeah, he can make it for the first episode, but he will definitely be there for the first episode on the channel on Coast to Coast. But yeah, he's here with us. I don't want to say in spirit because he's not dead, but we got his list for the for his predictions, his way too damn early predictions that we do on the first episode every damn season. But yeah, man,
good about mine too.
You know what? I liked there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of differences in all of ours.
There is?
Yes. We have a few similarities in some aspects, but a lot of differences like MVP and the Eastern Western conferences. I'm excited to go through these, but before we move forward, let me drop the link to the Coast to Coast channel for y'all, because if you all just search in the Google bars, it ain't gonna come up, and that's just strictly because it's a new channel.
Right, algorithm.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Brand new channel. But yeah, we're going to drop that in the description here in just a second. Drop it in the chat. Let me read some chat real quick. Looking at the very top, yeah, MH is, this MH has been the leader of the Coast to Coast comeback train. This dude has been everywhere I go. This man's like, so Brandon Warren, Coast to Coast. Anytime he has any kind of reference to Coast or to Brandon and myself, he lets me know it in Twitch or lets me know it on my comment section. So I know MH is hyped about this. He can do Rad Chris. Yeah, do Rad Chris in the building. What's up, Dupree? CK Crew member, appreciate you. William M. Yeah, so on and so forth. My man Delano, I say yes. Salute to everyone in the chat. Salute to CK and Warr's World. Yes, we are back. Yeah, I'm gonna get the channel to you guys in the chat. If not, check the description for you guys. And also for my audio-only listeners, as Coast to Coast on YouTube. You will find us shortly. But yeah, let's get into it, man. As you guys can see by the title, we're talking about the dude across the bridge, at least from my New York Knicks, and that is Kyrie Irving. And this is not to start the season with negativity. It's just literally the main thing that people are talking about right now. I thought we were going to come into this thing talking about Ben Simmons, but Kyrie Irving is taking over the NBA space right now. And it's not even just Kyrie Irving. It's just the whole vaccination and some of the remaining players that refuse to get vaccinated for their reasons, for their beliefs, whatever the case may be. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Jeff Van Gundy had some things to say. You hear about that, B-War?
I did not hear about Jeff Van Gundy, but I do know about Kyrie and, you know, all of his shenanigans. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to talk about that. Give my insight, you know,
yes, sir,
and just
yes, sir.
Put out in the universe, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun with that. We're also speaking on top of that. There's some rumors. I still think they're kind of crazy, realistic, I guess, but I still think it's kind of crazy if they did do that. But there's a rumor that the Nets might follow suit and try and trade Kyrie Irving because he's become a headache. We're gonna talk about that.
Ooh.
And then we got one of our favorite segments that we finally officially named, but I don't have the damn header for ready, but it's the way too damn early predictions. And you guys know, first episode of Coast to Coast for the last 3 seasons. This is our 4th season. The first episode, me and Brandon will try and predict our NBA awards as well as the seedings for the Eastern and Western Conference. And I also have Knicks on here as well. So we're going to check all of them out. We're going to talk about them. And we're going to be polling the chat's favorites as we go. So then you guys can lock them up. So I'm going to be polling who you guys think is going to be MVP, who you guys think rookie there, so on and so forth. So you guys can join us to see who becomes the closest. I'm changing the rule this time, B. I know how we, at the middle of the season, we are able to change it up however we want to. Nah, we're limiting that this time. We're getting 3 changes this time. So
3 changes.
3 changes. And that is on the standings and the awards. That's 3 total. So I hope you feel as confident still about who you chose. So if you want to choose your MVP, you can change it. You got to rock with some other guys. You got to do what you got to do. But we get 3 changes per.
Okay.
We'll see. But when
I like that. I like that.
Got to make it a little more interesting. Yeah, make it a little, because last time we was changing everything up because we were so wrong. I was like, nah. We got to make this a little more interesting because I want to see who can predict the best between us and them. So I think that'd be a lot of fun. Brandon in the building, a lot of crowns up there. Kyrie Irving has been a troublemaker for years. Yeah, a lot of stuff. We're gonna get into that right now. So yeah, let's start off with that news at the top before we even get into just Kyrie Irving, just vaccinations in general. The NBA has come out to been said that it's 90% vaccinated. I know your team is 100%. I know my team is 100%. The majority of the teams are 100%, but there's a few teams. I'm not gonna say bad apples because yes. Although I believe that we should all go and get the vaccination, at the same time, I'm not going to, speak on somebody else's beliefs. But I will say when it comes to, winning and going forward and competing for a championship, I don't want the excuses. That's all I'm going to say about that. But as far as like Bradley Beal, Kyrie Irving, I think Andrew Wiggins eventually finally got his shot.
Was it Michael Porter Jr.?
Michael Porter Jr. is one as well, but he's lucky because he's in a spot where Denver they don't have that mandate. But of course, when he comes and plays us or you guys, like he's not gonna be able to play those games. But so before we specifically go into like a Kyrie Irving, what's your thoughts on these guys deciding to not get the vaccination? Do you think that decide not to get that vaccination? No, decide not to get a vaccination. Do you think it's a mistake? Do you think it's their preference? Like, what's your overall thoughts about that?
I think you and I are going to have the same viewpoint as far as the vaccine in general.
Yeah.
It's very much a, your body, your choice.
Right.
If you feel like, you've done your research, whatever it may be, if it's just a Google search or, you've gone on depth, whatever the case may be, it's 100% your choice. Now, when it comes and it affects a team sport, I think that's where you have to consider your options. I think that you have to consider your family, of course, first and foremost. I think you also have to consider your teammates. And, of course, you have to consider yourself. And Kyrie is a unique individual that feels like, he has a different viewpoint on how things should be.
Right.
The world is flat or whatever the case may be. He has his own way of being able to handle his business. I can't knock him. That's just who he is. And it seems like he's a likable dude. So I don't necessarily see this as being Kyrie stepping out of bounds once again. No, this is just who Kyrie is. And I'm very much okay with him making his choice, whatever it feels like. And if he doesn't want to get it, he doesn't want to get it. That's fine. But, of course, like you were saying, when it comes to a championship,
right,
those are things you're gonna have to think about.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna expand the question to that as my next point. Like, what? And I think that's what led to Andrew Wiggins, and he probably had some of his teammates in his head. And you put it perfectly. When it's coming to a team atmosphere, you're surrounded by not just your teammates, but by other players that you're gonna be playing against and stuff like that. You gotta start weighing your options, start thinking about that. Regardless of what your beliefs are. But yeah, to expand on that last point you just made, the Brooklyn Nets are supposed to be the team outside of, I don't know, fill in the blank, the Bucks possibly coming back, and so many other teams, Lakers, whatever, so many other teams, and Brooklyn Nets is supposed to be at the top of that list. But now if Kyrie Irving is only basically going to be playing, I can't even say 41 games because that's 4 total games he's missing in New York, not even just us. And then on top of that, the California games, he's gonna be missing you guys for one game, Clippers 1 game, Sacramento a game, Golden State game. So that's not even 41 games. You probably got him for about 35 games, barring there's no injury or something like that. So you're missing him for a lot of the season. So I understand they have James Harden. Go ahead.
If he is only playing 35 games, I mean, if you get injured in 35 games, but then again, it's Kyrie. So go ahead. Yeah, go on.
But that's what I was going to say. And I understand that they have James Harden. They got Durant. They got all these, old heads that, like you guys can possibly pull it together for the team, and Millsap and blah, 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 blah. But Kyrie Irving is one of the major pieces on this team, along with James Harden. James Harden's probably going to miss games. KD's going to miss games. And to no injury, unfortunately, Kyrie Irving's going to be missing some games. Do you think that too bad, so sad, that's your choice kind of thing, with no excuse on that? Or you think that we should be giving them a pass if they don't win this season? Don't be nice. Be real. No, don't be nice. How do you really feel about it? Like, don't try and,
Tough break, man.
Right. 100%.
You obviously you hate to see it that some of the best players in the world aren't able to play because, their viewpoint or everybody's viewpoint on a disease that is killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
So tough break, man.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I wish there was alternatives instead of just like straight mandate. If you don't have the vaccine, you can't play here. I do think that there needs to be like some more scrutinized or additional testing, more aggressive testing, if that's the case, from whatever adjective that they want to call it. But
right.
I just think being able, making it so black and white is making it very politicized, and when it's not something that needs to be politicized. But unfortunately, this is the world we're at, and I wish things were different, but it is what it is. But poo-poo on them if it doesn't work out or they don't win the championship because Kyrie's decision. But these are the rules that we have to live at right now.
So I agree to an extent, but I think I would agree more with that last point if the entire NBA had the mandate that that New York and California had. If the entire NBA had that, then yeah, I'd be like, all right, maybe if there was some way that they can figure out another way around that, then yeah. But because that's only 6 teams, 5 teams that are doing it. I think that, and it's a majority of the teams, but not majority of teams, but you know what I mean? Like they're big teams because both LA games are big. Now New York for Eastern Conference. Too, right? Chicago, I think, they're about to do it as well. So I think because it's so spread out and it's not, a overall decision by the NBA, I think that should be enough for them to make that decision on, how much they want to go forward for their team. Like Andrew Wiggins, he felt one way because he was, according to him, he was scared of Tylenol, so he was afraid of what the effects were going to be of a vaccine for him. But that's neither here nor there. If you do not know what I'm talking about, please look that up. I'm not making that up. That's what Andrew Wiggins said. And I'm just like, the publicist needs to come and get this man off of the stage. Anyways, He, though, ultimately decided to do it and move forward for his team. We heard other players say the same thing, that they were against it but decided to do it because it's for the betterment of the team. I mean, that was part of the conversation with like LeBron and Carmelo. Like, you know, they were on the fence about it, but they knew the betterment of the team. They had to do what they had to do, and that's what they did. A lot of players feel that way, and I respect that. And I think that's the way to do it because, like you and me are both feeling, your team's supposed to be that great. You don't do it. Tough. Yeah. That was because of your decision. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I support what you want to do, but understand you ain't gonna win because of it. That's tough. I don't know.
We all have a choice.
Right. So to that point, then we're gonna expand even further with Kyrie Irving now, because I'm seeing the chat and I'm looking at the chat saying a lot of the same things. Like my man Edgar, he's saying Kyrie's being a deep thinker with a remedial IQ. A lot of that has to do with a lot of the downfall of Kyrie Irving since he's left Cleveland. I'm talking about in Boston, and I'm talking about in instances with Brooklyn, and now specifically more with what's going on right now. So there's the rumor going around that the Nets are looking to possibly try and move Kyrie Irving. Thoughts? Do you think that?
I know I've heard of this trade before. I don't know if it's necessarily true, but
right.
Everybody, I know chat's gonna be on my head when I say this.
Go ahead.
Nick Wright was saying that Ben Simmons and Kyrie should be traded for each other, and it would be a good swap. Now, whether I think that's true or not, or if there's any feet work with that, I have no idea. But my question, I guess, to you and as well as the chat, if they decided to go in that direction and these rumors are true, who do you trade him for?
That's the question. I don't have an answer. That's the question. First of all, I can't even get past the idea of the Brooklyn Nets trading him, because to me, that makes the Brooklyn Nets look even more stupid than I already feel like they are. Like they went all in on this whole, you know, we're building around Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. These are the ones that they chose to be here. This is their team. This is they're trying to take over the city. Rah. They just were trying to sell us this whole thing, and now, because Kyrie Irving is being who you knew he was going to be, now you're going to try and backtrack on that and trade him away. I just feel like that. And on top of that, Kyrie, I don't care what anyone says, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't care what nobody says. Kyrie Irving is one of the main reasons why KD even went to Brooklyn. So now you take that away. KD is also an emotional player. I know he put out the tweet saying what he said, saying that he envisions the team doing this, that, and the third. But KD's going to feel a type of way if they go up and trade him without his blessing. So I just feel like trading him away in general is just going to cause a whole ruckus on implosion for the team. And personally, I'm for that. Like, that's fine with me. Like, go ahead. But I just don't think they actually move him.
Is that true that he was talking about if he gets traded, he would retire? Or is that somebody just saying that? Bro,
I don't even know what's true and what's false with Kyrie Irving. I think that was an actual quote that he said. I think it was more so the whole him trading. If he gets traded, he'll be retired. I think that part I don't know, but I do know him saying that he doesn't want to play anywhere else, and this would be his last stop. And if it ended next year, he'd be done because he wants to end being a Brooklyn Net. So maybe those two go together. I don't know, but look, man. Now to play along with your you and your boy Nick Wright's little proposition. Personally, I like it. I'm not all aboard the whole Ben Simmons hate train. I understand that, you know, the mindset and all that stuff is bad. I'm not trying to cover up from
awful.
It's terrible. But, you know, if Ben Simmons just to go to the team and just be a big point guard that defends and passes the ball, I think that would make the Brooklyn Nets scary. I think that'd be a good for them. I don't know what you get out of Kyrie Irving in Philly, but in a perfect world in 2K, you put Philly next to Joel Embiid. I think that's a combination that helps, because that's all Joel Embiid needs is another person that can go and get buckets outside of himself. So outside of the reality of it, I think it's a dope trade both ways. You know, the Brooklyn Nets get long. Ben Simmons isn't forced to be a scorer like that anymore because you got James Harden and KD. Just got to go out there, defend, and move the ball and facilitate the offense. I think it's great. But with mentalities in effect, I don't know how that works. So on both levels, that part I don't know. But in 2K and in fantasy world, I think it'd be a great trade for both sides.
Yeah, I just don't know if, you know, obviously money's got to work and this right. and that, but I don't know if you trade in your same conference, like with those kind of.
No way, in the same division and everything. Yeah, that's right, 100%.
So it makes sense on paper, but logistically, I don't
Yeah.
I don't think that's the move.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying. Like in 2K, that's a good trade. I think both teams win. I think both teams end up being better with those trades. But yeah, like you said, just the reality of it. Will Kyrie Irving be more of a headache in Philly? Probably. Will Ben Simmons, melt in the moment playing next to guys like Kevin Durant and James Harden? Probably. Like, there's so many other things. And then on top of that, like you mentioned, trading within your division, it's just not going to happen. Speaking of, while we're on Ben Simmons real quick, I just want to pick your head on that. Like, I've been saying, I think the best place, whether that is a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not saying it like he's going to go out there and compete. I just think the best place and the best move for the Philadelphia 76ers would be to try and facilitate some kind of move with the Sacramento Kings. Now, recently, the Sacramento Kings have been coming into it. I feel like the Sixers can fleece one of those three-point guards out of Philly. And even it doesn't matter which one it is. You get one of them in Philadelphia, whether it's Davion Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, or De'Aaron Fox, whichever one you can fleece out of them, which I think you could do. I think that's already a step up for the Philadelphia 76ers.
so too.
So Ben Simmons gets his wish. He can then go be his little superstar that he wants to be in Sacramento, because it will literally just be like you and Rich Paul want. And I think everybody wins. I think that, to me, that's the move that makes the most sense on both sides. And like we were just saying, you send him on the far west, so it doesn't affect you guys at all. But that's why I've been thinking he should go. Do you have any kind of ideas in your mind where Ben Simmons should be?
Part of me wants to say they should have. Golden State should have probably pulled it off.
For who?
They were talking about trading draft picks.
Oh, okay, that's right. I remember.
And then Philly came out and said, "No, we want more."
Mm-hmm.
And they were starting to get a little greedy, but this is before all the ugliness started happening with no show on training camps, preseason games, all that, media day, all that good stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Philly necessarily thinks Ben Simmons is.
Yeah.
I know that where is he in chat? Edgar Allan Fro. He's our big Sixers fan.
Yeah.
And I've been telling him for years, man. Like, I will always say Giannis is a better player than him. I will always say that. And it's not because it's not by much. The skill levels are very much along the lines, but Giannis doesn't have that fear that Ben Simmons has. Yeah. So, I don't. He's a great player, phenomenal, 6'10", can fly up and down the court, but up here, he's not all together. I don't know if he ever will be, and that's the reason why. I don't know what you guys are going to label him as. So. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, what trade package that they finally settle on, because it's going to happen. He's going to be traded. That's.
But when is the question? And I feel like that's what sucks for Philadelphia fans, because that could affect him. And I think when we talk about our predictions for the standings, you're going to see that where we have them at is because of this whole mess that you guys are going to be going through this entire season. So the sooner the better for y'all. But who bites? I think that's the real question when it comes to Ben Simmons. But yeah,
exactly.
that Giannis comparison, yeah, I get that. I took it a step further. I took it to the person that was in the same draft as him, and I always said, Ben Simmons is exciting and whatnot. Yep, I've always been saying I think Brandon Ingram was the better player, and probably could have been the better option for them if drafting him. At the time, people saw me as crazy because Bi was a slow learner, not slow learner, but just slow cooker, I should say. It took him a little while to get to where he is right now. And you know what, Ben Simmons was literally just I would say Lonzo Ball type of progression away from being superstar. And when I say that, I mean, Lonzo Ball in Los Angeles was throwing up air balls all over the place, but at least he was shooting the ball, you know what I mean? And now he's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Ben Simmons, that's all we need him to do. Like, I get you can shoot him in practice and stuff like that, but at least if he was going in and shooting at like 30, maybe 40 threes a season, and if you're shooting 25, 10%, fine. The point of the matter is at least we know you're shooting the ball now, and then you improve from there. Now, if you stayed that way your entire career, that's a different conversation as well. But at least you're shooting.
Exactly.
And I think that he put himself in the hole that he's in right now. I don't know. I don't think that he's as bad as everyone's making him out to be, but at the same time, I don't think he's worth half these packages that we're seeing on the internet at all.
I agree wholeheartedly. What were their original demands?
They were asking for 2 firsts and an all-star starter or something like that.
All-star caliber.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Like,
Let's pump the brakes on that one. On that one for sure. I see some people in that talking about doing a 3-way trade. Kyrie,
what do you
Ben
see?
Simmons, and somebody from Sacramento.
So who lands where? If you do a 3-team trade.
Oh no, not Sacramento. Houston, because John Wall is another one that wants out too.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So then do you give Philly John Wall, or do you give Brooklyn John Wall?
Then that sucks. Then Kyrie's going to Houston.
Don't do that to my man Jalen, bro. Nah, no, don't do that to Jalen, man.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That would be terrible for. I would retire if I was Kyrie. If that something like that happened.
Yeah, man.
I would.
That would be such a nightmare. That'd be such a nightmare. So
I would get it.
So if we did, so we'll do Ben Simmons to Houston, Kyrie to Philly, and John Wall to Brooklyn. I think that's the only thing that makes sense in that 3-team trade.
Yeah.
Who says no?
Brooklyn's still losing.
Brooklyn's still losing.
At the end of the day, Brooklyn's still losing that trade.
Yeah, I don't know how Brooklyn wins that trade. I mean, I like, because you can say what you want to say. Ben Simmons' defense is remarkable. I think Ben Simmons in Brooklyn would be the best option, but I don't want that because I F the Brooklyn Nets, you know. But if the best option would be them getting Ben Simmons, because all they need is the defense, because that's the one part of their game that sucks, is the defensive ability. And as long as Ben Simmons just goes out there, orchestrates, and plays defense, that's it. That's perfect. Then James Harden does what James Harden does, Kevin Durant does what, but I just think he would fold playing next to those two dudes, just personally.
You think Ben Simmons would fold against
playing with KD and Harden? Yeah, I think so.
I think it would just make his life easier.
No, it should, right? But I'm talking about mentally. I think he'd fold.
Because that's a different personality group with KD and James Harden, though. Mm-hmm. Compare that to Joel Embiid. I know Joel Embiid's, all goofy, hanging out, but he envisions him here, and not to say he's not there, or sometimes he can play there, but he's not always going to be at that level. So it's hard to take him serious, I'm sure.
So you're saying I'm being harsh?
Yeah, trying to. But I personally think just giving him a new, fresh air, like Brooklyn, where you have capable shooters, you have capable players to get it done on a nightly basis too. Again, not to say that Joel is not that case, because he is, but he would have a much more defined role. Hey, Ben, we don't need you to shoot.
Yeah.
All that much. We need you to be in the dunker spot and play phenomenal defense. Be that defensive stopper that you are.
Yep.
So that way they can literally rotate and switch everything.
Yeah. Devil's advocate though, you think that would also apply a little bit too much pressure on KD and James Harden defensively, because knowing that Ben Simmons, you just have to worry about the paint with him, so then they'll put a little bit more pressure on the shooting of Joe Harris and James Harden and KD, or you think that won't really make too much of a difference? What
pressure do those two feel? I mean, they're offensive juggernauts between KD and James Harden.
That's right.
So their pressure, it's already always been there, and if anything, that they're used to that. Defensively, the only problem is when they play against bigs, of course, but I think they've made it well known that they're not looking to necessarily stop outside paint, and if they can rotate and play defense on the perimeter, they'll do so.
Yeah.
You look at some of the moves they made last year. Same thing. They're not going to be able to guard nothing in the paint.
Yeah.
But they're going to be able to stop and be able to defend that 3-point line very, very efficiently, and that's what helped them win a lot of those offensive games.
See, and BOT hit right what I was just going to say. My last point on this one, again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but BOT beat me to the punch. Yeah. Playoffs. Ben Simmons and James Harden. James Harden has a bad history in the playoffs, and now then what? You're expecting Ben Simmons to then take take his what he's leaving on the off the court? Like what happens in that instance in the playoffs?
You got a bad man at Kevin Durant.
Alone though, the poor guy, like that poor man, like he was, and Blake Griffin said it perfectly. He was just one more person away from stepping up from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, because it was literally just Kevin Durant. Like no one else was really doing anything else. Mind you, James Harden was out, but like I said, injuries and just blunders in the playoffs. Like then does Ben Simmons all of a sudden show up and start helping out offensively? No, I don't think so. So I think I think those are the only few questions I have.
Yeah, I personally just think having a much more defined role, like this is what we need out of you on a night-to-night basis. Nothing too much, for a guy that struggles here mentally. I think if you simplify the game for him, it's just going to be that much better. Mm-hmm. With Philly, I'm sorry, he's got to be the point guard, but as the point guard, you got to shoot. Yeah. You can have James Harden do that. You can have James Harden bring up the ball, be point guard. That's essentially what he's doing now. Yeah. And if you just tell, hey, when we go out on the break, you're running. You're literally, what's that, dive man. You're just going to be the dive man. If not bringing the ball up, and we're going to play, have a lot of fun on the open breaks. And defensively, you're going to stop everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are your two roles. Yeah. And I don't know exactly what his role is for Philly, but in the last 4 or 5 years.
Does Philly know? That's a question too.
I don't know if Philly knows. Yeah. I truly don't. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big believer on that. If you shore up this is your defined role on this team, he'll be all right. He'll be okay. It won't be as bad as it looked in those playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I was not going to mention it. Delano mentioned it. I don't know if you saw this on the internet, but he said, CK, there's rumors of a 5-team trade involving the Nets, 76ers, Wizards, Kings, and Blazers.
God damn.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see it. It's not real. It's not real. And it's literally the best player from every single one of those teams going. Like, I think it had Damian Lillard, it had Ben Simmons, it had, Bradley Beal. Like, it had everyone swapping spots. Kyrie Irving. I was just like, no, stop.
Yeah. We're not entertaining this.
No, that's why I said, I'm like, no, I'm not playing that game. Nope, not doing it. All right, well, I guess we did talk about Ben Simmons. I didn't think we were going to get to Ben Simmons. I thought we were majority going to talk about Kyrie Irving. But, yeah, I mean, it's intriguing because, like you said, unlike Kyrie Irving, I get the whole headache with Kyrie Irving. Unlike Kyrie Irving, Ben Simmons has to get traded. Kyrie Irving doesn't have to get traded. The Brooklyn Nets can stay with that guy and see what they can do because at least they have two other superstars. The Sixers are top 3 seed away from being a bottom seed in the Eastern Conference without Ben Simmons. And that's just the way it is. Even without his shooting, at the very least, the defense helps them be at the top of the Eastern Conference. Without Ben Simmons and just Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and then what? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be they're two completely different teams without Ben Simmons, regardless of what is missing and what you're not going to get in the playoffs. I get that. But for the regular season, at the very least, without Ben Simmons, the Sixers are going to have a rough season. So they got to trade him. They got to trade him away because Ben Simmons ain't coming back. So yeah, that's gonna be one we're gonna be. I mean, here we on coast to coast, so we're gonna be following that one. So I'm sure once that happens, we gonna talk about it. When it happens, we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, we ended up talking about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, congratulations, you made it. I can't escape Ben Simmons. Everywhere I go, I'm talking about Ben Simmons. But either way, it is what it is. What's up?
This is nowhere near what we're talking about, but
go ahead.
I apologize to you and the rest of my teammates on our Sunday night leagues.
What'd you do?
I've definitely been playing like Ben Simmons the last couple of weeks, so I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna shoot.
This man. All of a sudden in the fourth quarter, we were down. It was already over. This man made one of the most Brandon Warren layups. At the end of the game, I'm just like, dog, I get it, and because of what you said. And sorry, we'll bring you guys into our role, but real quick, from what you said in that second game where you were talking about moving the ball and rah, like I get it, I appreciate that, but also though, don't completely slash out your offensive game. to do that. That's all I'm asking. Like, go out there and get yours on top of doing that, because that's the other thing. Because we need you. We need the offense. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing old Brandon come back tonight. That'd be nice. Definitely
Yeah.
need that. Especially while
It's
I'm
gonna be
trying to find my goddamn shot. So please help us out, because I'm just out there getting cardio, bro. I'm just out there getting cardio. But yeah, speaking of all that though, trades and whatnot, I do want to make I want to talk about our early predictions. Our way too damn early predictions. The graphic will be ready by the time we do this in the middle of the season. I'm sorry, I couldn't get ready in time, but we got some predictions for you guys. You can know what time it is. We do this every first episode for Coast to Coast. We get in the chat. Hold on. What's up?
Back with the new season.
Yes, sir. I know who saw it. I missed it. I didn't see it. Tarantino. Yes, sir. We are back with the new season. My man Tarantino, appreciate you, bro. Yes. We are back with a new season. Like I said, first episode's here, but you're going to have to go find us on Coast to Coast. I will drop that link before the show ends. I want to drop it now, but I can't find our channel because I didn't keep the link. Yeah, we'll find it. Don't worry about it. We'll find the channel. We'll find it. It's there. Coast to Coast is there. We just gotta find it. Anyways, yeah. So our way too damn early predictions. We're gonna start off with the award race. As far as MVP, this, that, and the third. And while we're talking about our list and Nick's list, even though he's not here to defend himself, I'm going to be dropping polls in the chat so you guys can vote for who you think will be MVP. Most improved, so on and so forth, as we go on with the conversation. So, without further ado, DOT said, I'm retired from playing and coaching. Delano's very right. Yeah, BLT was doing fine, bro. Delano says, you know who this benefits? The Knicks. No drama this season. Right. Sixers and the Nets get all the drama. We just, in the back winning our preseason games. Kumbaya, everything's good over on our side. It's good stuff. All right, so let's
just wait.
Stop. It's not happening. Not this year. No, we're good. Not we're under new regime. Brandon Warren, we're under new regime. All right, so I'm about to show our way too damn early award predictions. We're gonna soak in them. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna discuss and go back and forth on them. And then, like I said, chat, pay attention to the polls that are going to be coming through. Once again, shout out to my man Tarantino for the 20 bones on the super chat. Appreciate you, bro. All right, here we go. Here are the coast to coast, way too damn early predictions. Brandon, you're gonna see them shortly because I know you don't have them live like I do. But starting off with Code of the Dreamer. He's the last one. I didn't get his name tag. Like I said, we missing a lot of stuff. But it's all right. You see Warr's role, you see mine at the top. But we're going to start with my man Cody Dream because he's not here to defend himself. So let's talk about his and point and laugh. Even though I like his. I didn't completely hate his. But with MVP, I thought was an interesting choice. He went with Steph Curry. Rookie of the Year. Well, across the board, you can see we all went with my guy, Jalen Green. Defensive Player of the Year, he went with Anthony Davis. Most Improved, he went with Michael Porter Jr., Mr. Paid. He went sixth man. He went with Jordan Clarkson, the reigning sixth man of the year. And for Coach of the Year, he went with Chicago Bulls' own Billy Donovan. Before we move into our lineups, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Knicks lineups? You see anything that's too crazy? Let's start with the Steph Curry thing. In what world and in what kind of scenario can Steph Curry be MVP in 2021, 2022?
They got to look like old Splash Brothers. Like I'm talking, like the first year of whatchamacallit being their coach. Like he got to look like that.
Yeah. Oh, like when Kurtz first got there.
Yeah. And not to say that he can't. But Steph is getting older, and I don't know. Nick, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. And I thought that was a possibility last season. But to see it happen again, don't know about that one, brother.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I
don't know.
I don't know. I don't know who and here's the thing. And Nick, I see what you're trying to do. I know he's not here to really defend himself. We're probably going to get him to talk about it next week. I just don't know, because I don't see the Warriors making that big of a leap this year. Even when they get Clay back, I still think there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. They're going to do well, but it's not going to be, the West is packed, man. So I don't know where they land. And
every year,
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's still Steph Curry, but I'm just more worried about how the team does. Is the team deep enough? Like, those are the kind of things I'm thinking about and looking at right now to see if they can help him get the MVP. Right. Then what?
They're 2 rookies. Yeah, I don't know about their 2 rookies. Kuminga? Is that my saying it right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kuminga. And then their other point guard that they drafted too. I have no idea. I don't know why they went and got him. I feel like Jordan Poole is aged to the point now where he is capable now. Mm-hmm. He's not just jacking up threes and throwing up bricks. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't think they're going to be super high, but I do think that they're going to be in the conversation, at least, at the very, very, very least, making that 8 seed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But seeing Steph at MVP, no.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it's possible. I just don't think it's happening. Not this year. Because I was like you. I thought he had full range to just go crazy because it was just him. They did have a little bit more help. I don't know. I thought that he was going to have a crazy year. And he played solid, but they just didn't have enough. So I don't know. I see what you're doing there, Nick. But and then going back to the list, yeah. So like we all have the same for Rookie of the Year. So we're going to make our arguments for Rookie of the Year. So I'm not going to really talk about that. I'll save Anthony Davis because you have Anthony Davis as your Defensive Player of the Year. So I'll have you talk about that. Most Improved. Me and him have the same Most Improved. So we'll both talk about that. Sixth Man of the Year. That's one we're not agreeing with him on. Do you think Jordan Clarkson has a chance of repeating as Sixth Man of the Year? Has anyone repeated as Sixth Man back-to-back Sixth Man of the Year?
Jordan Crawford,
Jamal.
I feel like he did.
Okay.
No, Jamal. Yeah, sorry, not Jordan Crawford. That man.
Yeah, no, not Jordan Crawford. Definitely not Jordan
Crawford. No. Lou Williams.
Did Lou Will repeat or did he skip a year? I don't remember.
Jackson. I like these are people who are coming to mind.
Like ultimate like, 6 men. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
don't know. I mean, some chat help us out. Like it had to have happened. Maybe Lou Will was the one. For whatever reason, my brain I feel like he skipped a year, but I could be wrong. But either way, yeah, Jordan Clarkson. I don't think that's the wrong answer. I don't think that could be a wrong answer because if he just continues to do what he does for the Utah Jazz and they end up being a top 3, top 2, top 1 team again, I guarantee it's because he's doing what he did last year and getting buckets off the bench. So I don't argue with this. I think that's a very good vote. So I think he was on point with that one. And the big one. Absolutely. The big one I liked and I want to talk about is Billy Donovan. The exciting Chicago Bulls are now getting a lot of people's attention. As you know, they have my point guard in Lonzo Ball over there. They got a fun bunch of guys over there. The chemistry is at an all-time high right now in the preseason. Billy Donovan and the Bulls really feel like they can make a push a lot. They keep bringing our names into it. They said that they can make a push like the Knicks did last season with what they got. Do you think, in what world do you think that Billy Donovan can go out there and steal Coach of the Year?
So sad about that thing, man. I really am. First they got the GOAT. They have Alex Caruso now on that team. Do you know how upsetting that is for me to just watch Chicago Bulls Twitter post up highlights like the Lakers did for that boy? Do you know how upsetting that is? Mm-hmm. The first time Joe sent it over, I was
your heart.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
My heart, my soul, my everything. And y'all, like, I wish if Alex Caruso went anywhere, I would like to see him go to New York instead of just Chicago, because now you still get to see the outside of it. No, if you saw him part of your team, you would understand why Lakers fans, diehards, and
they love them some Caruso.
Fans, huh?
They love them some Caruso.
Oh, dude!
Just remember, we were there first, though. That's all I'm gonna say, B-Boy. I'm forever. You and me were there first before he was Caruso. We were there. We were saying our conversations were, and this before LeBron James, for everything. We said that it should be a Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso tandem. And what is Chicago doing, Brandon Warren? What is Chicago doing? It's not Kobe. Kobe's gonna be playing the off ball. They're going to have him be like a Emmanuel Quickly kind of guy. So it's going to be Lonzo Ball and then Caruso coming in for Lonzo. This is what upsetting. Right? This is what 3-4 years later. I mean, mind you, yes, they're probably not going to be competing for no damn championship, but at the very least, they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to win some games, and that's all we was asking for. I mean, at the time, the Lakers weren't looking like they were going to compete until then LeBron James eventually came. But Shoot, we were still even saying then. Yeah, I was about to say it too. Even then with LeBron came, we were still saying that it should be Lonzo and Caruso. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you get your emotions out. Take it away. Go ahead.
I'm straight now. But back to what the original question was. I can see it happening. I can really see it happen just because that team, like you said, is going to be very, very exciting. Mm-hmm. Best believe I'll be watching some of those games.
Yeah, same. For sure.
More so for Caruso than anybody probably else, but
that's a lie. You watch Lonzo too.
I'm not gonna cry about it, but I think it's a possibility. As far as making a Knicks push,
that's what they're saying.
If you want to call it that, I think the Knicks were in a very much unique situation compared to the Bulls. The Bulls got a whole lot of free agents out of left field. Mm-hmm. That nobody thought they would be able to pull.
Mm-hmm. And now Knicks, trying to see making them fit. At least the Knicks free agents and stuff like that, they were homegrown and they made sense. Like there was a fit there. Now they overloaded in positions, and then now their forward situation's kind of weird. Their big man situation's kind of weird. So we have to see how they make that work. I understand it's a positionless game, but there are some teams that don't play by that. So how you gonna go against some of those guys, especially in the Eastern Conference? So that's what I'm looking at. But continue. Yeah. So, I mean, we're gonna probably talk about the Bulls here when we go through our standings, anyways. But no, continue.
No. Yeah. They're gonna be cool. They're gonna be all right. They ain't gonna be no Lake Show. They ain't gonna be no Knicks tape. But they're gonna be cool.
There it is. Cool. There it is. Yeah. Let them know. Yeah. So back to Billy Donovan though. How you feeling about Knicks prediction here? Is there an actual chance here, or Nick was just shooting for the stars?
Say that one more time.
As far as the Billy Donovan conversation, because that's who Nick has. You think Nick's onto something here, or he was just shooting for the stars?
Nick's definitely onto something. Okay. I don't think it's like far left field. No.
Okay. All right, for sure. All right, let me get the list back up. Sorry, I'm here trying to finish this other thing right now for the show. Yeah. All right, well, that's all the Knicks list. That's what you just finished. Nick's entire list right there. So yeah, MVP Steph Curry, Jalen Green as Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, AD. MIP, looking at Michael Porter Jr., Jordan Clarkson, and then we got none other than Billy Donovan. So Brandon Warren.
Yes, sir.
Now we're gonna look at your list, and we were just talking about the Bulls, and I see you got a Bulls player on there, one that I wanted to put on mine so bad, but I couldn't do it. But we're gonna go through. So for MVP, this is one I can't wait to hear your conversation on this one. For MVP though, we see that you got Mr. Donovan Mitchell on there. That's your choice for MVP. A lot like Nick, you have Jalen Green. I want to hear your argument on that one. AD as Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think there's much of an argument there because it makes sense, but that's what you got. Lonzo Ball, who is having such a great start to the preseason right now with that team. That's who you got for MIP. You got my man D Rose, your guy D Rose as well. You're a big fan of him. He's in Chicago. And you're going with Mr. Mike Malone, getting that Coach of the Year. I think this is a cool lineup. I don't really have much of beef with this one, to be real. I'm really curious to hear your conversation on the Donovan Mitchell one, though. Other than that, I like this your 6, excuse me. But yeah, let's talk about MVP, Mr. Warren. Which explain yourself on Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I do feel like this year is going to be another weird winner. Okay. And obviously, and people will see my way too early predictions as well, as Donovan's team is not the top team in the West either.
Right.
But I just think that there's going to be NBA is very much about narratives, right? Sure. 100%. And there's certain narratives that have been thrown on Donovan the last couple years. I don't know why. Like Shaq did it weirdly on TNT one night. People through ESPN have been saying it all, throughout Donovan's career. I've just had this feeling, and I'm totally comfortable with being wrong, but I just feel like he's going to take another step that we haven't quite seen him do.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, okay. And I think he's going to lead a team through a significant injury. Hopefully, dear God, I do not like this man at all. Hopefully, it's Rudy Gobert. And
I was like,
can lead that team.
Okay.
I listen. I've never been a fan of that man. When I heard he got $200+ million, I was infuriated.
Defense pays, kids. Defense pays.
No. No, sorry. I mean, we're talking about Donovan.
We'll learn more about your hate for Rudy Gobert as the season goes on. But go ahead.
But yeah, I just think he's gonna take that team to a whole different level with a significant injury on their team. That's gonna lead them to a higher season than they thought that they would be at. Obviously, they overachieved last season. Didn't mean anywhere because they lost to the Clippers.
They did,
but they lost to the Clippers, and I think Donovan's looking out to on a revenge tour this year.
Vengeance. So, vengeance will be Donovan's, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. But it's either I was stuck between him or KD. My issue with KD, I don't know if he's going to be able to play all those seasons, all those games.
Right.
So I just went with the healthier choice.
Okay.
For Donovan. I know it's an oddball out, weird one to pick.
No, I love it. Again, like I said, we get 3 changes at the halfway mark. That might be your first one, but if not, you or you could be onto something. And then because like we mentioned, the Jazz were one of the best teams in the league last year. So maybe they followed that up, and a lot of it has to do with Donovan Mitchell. So I don't think it's as crazy as people are going to make you seem, but. Definitely, it could be one of your changes at the halfway mark. I definitely think that could be it. Okay, let me see what the chat says about it. Terrence Man said Utah need their money back.
Yes.
Delano saying as good as Donovan was last season, I wouldn't disagree with him getting the MVP. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's as crazy as you might think. We might think. Shout out to my man Alex Collins. I see you, bro. He said I love Alex Caruso, and he said my boys are back. Alex, my man, appreciate you, bro. And mate saying, damn, the K disrespect, but Jalen's tough. Yeah. Speaking of Jalen, Jalen Green.
He's on a. That team is bad.
So you think he just gonna stats crazy? Like he just gonna go off stats wise?
I
losses.
think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think just Jalen's just gonna have a lot more successful season, in my opinion.
Okay. So then let me ask the question then, because my CK crew knows Jalen Green's my guy. I'm looking forward to him. He's one of my favorite players to watch. I'm excited to see him in the league. Like you said, sucks that he's on a bad team, but at the very least, like I think he's gonna ball out. So as far as career wise, who do you think's gonna have the better career? You think it's gonna be him, Cade, or Evan Mobley?
Pause. I think Cade has the better framework.
Okay.
To be
He's
able
saying
to...
he has the better body. Go ahead.
I think he has the body to necessarily withstand the NBA.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen has to grow into it, and the typical NBA body change.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sticking with Jalen though.
Okay.
I still think Jalen's going to be a better NBA prospect as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he wins championships and all that stuff, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know that scoring gets you a lot of places in the NBA.
In the NBA, right?
And that boy can shoot. That boy can get to the hoop. He can do it at all 3 levels.
Yeah, and he's very good at it for as young as he is, and that's only going to improve with the amount of work that he's going to put in. I agree with that. And that's the thing, and that's no hate to Cade because Cade is nice. The only problem is I feel like there's just so much more. Cade is right now, he's in that potential mode. Right now, we know Jalen Green is a scorer. I mean, obviously, he could probably go out there and shit the bed during the season. That could happen. But we know Jalen Green is a bona fide scorer with the ability to improve other facets of his game. Cade Cunningham, we don't know if he's a guy that's a go-getter like that yet. We know he's a great facilitator. He's a good leader. But will all of it come together in the NBA? That's the big question, especially in Detroit. And I know Houston's not much better, but Detroit, at least Houston had winning teams at some point. Detroit, it's been, since 2004? Realistically, 2008, because I guess that's one. So, I don't know.
Yeah, one playoff year.
Yeah, so, I definitely think Cade has the potential to be the better prospect. I just, like you, I think I'm just going to go with Jalen Green. I'm with you on that one. All right, okay. And then going over to AD, that's your guy. I'm sure that this goes further than just him being the Lakers, right? Being on the Lakers, right?
I'm done here.
All right, next one. Lonzo Ball, most improved. We talked about the Bulls there briefly. You really think that he has the opportunity? Now, I think we both had Lonzo Ball on our list last year as well. We thought he was going to take that step, but then Stan Van Gundy said, no, idiots. I have different plans for Lonzo Ball. So do you think with him being the main ball handler for that Chicago Bulls team, being the point guard one, doing what Lonzo does, incorporating the shot, you think that he has the potential to be the most improved? Now, remember the stat line of last year's most improved player. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I just think, personally, I want to will it into existence just because I think he is that caliber kind of player.
Okay.
But I was very stuck between, I think I saw your two choices is Michael Porter Jr. As another option. So I do think that he will take that next step. Every year he has grown, even with last year's disappointment. He has found a way to grow and evolve his game.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to make that team a lot better.
For sure.
A lot better than what Chicago has been with just Zach LaVine. So I expect big things out of him. This is a year where I'm like, no, you need to show me. This is it. No more of this, things that could happen. You never know, blah, 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 blah. No. Lonzo, show me the player that I thought you were, that I know you can be.
That you think he is. Don't say thought. Lonzo's going to be just fine.
Because we saw him in UCLA. Dude was a hooper.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in the NBA in quite some time. Yeah. It's only 5.
Yeah, right. He's probably done it in 5 games total in his 4-year career. I get what you mean.
Exactly.
Yeah. Grizzly Bear, I like that one. Or Grizz Bear, excuse me. Let me not call you Grizzly Bear. I might, Grizz Bear with some oomph. He says most improved going to Jaren Jackson Jr. I don't think that's a terrible choice. The problem is he just needs to be healthy. I think that's all it really is. If Jaren Jackson's healthy, I think that definitely could make sense. So I think that's a good. Yeah. I know obviously you're a Grizzlies fan, but I don't think that's a terrible prediction at all. Just got to be healthy. So Lonzo Ball for Mr. Warren. I like it. Everybody knows that I'm a big fan of that, and that's not the only one I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of your 6th man of the year, Mr. Derrick Rose. You want to say what you want to say about Mr. Rose being your 6th man?
Mr. Rose, he was supposed to. I mean, he was trying real hard to get it back when he was with Timberwolves,
right?
And I think now that we have a defined role, that Derrick Rose, hey, you're gonna be coming off the bench for our team,
right?
You're under a system that you're very familiar with. You know what needs to get done at the point guard level. Go do your thing, dog. He's not gonna be worried about I need to play 35, 38 minutes a night. No, give me a cool 25, 28 minutes a night. Go out there and score, lead the team, assist, do your job. And we gonna win games.
He did very well last year. Do what he did very well last year. And now knowing that we have an actual competent starting point guard, I think it only makes his job easier. So I think that and that's why I agree with you. I think that this is the year that he can do that. I think he can have the stat line he had, but consistently, especially knowing that you got Kemba Walker going in front of him. So I'm with you on that. I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So he's gonna do big things. Kemba, I'm not sure what to expect out of Kemba anymore, but I'm sure Knicks fans, you guys have your own expectation out of Kemba. What to get out of him?
Yeah. No, I think Kemba will be fine. I've made some bold proclamations about Kemba Walker, but Kemba Walker will be fine. But for 6th man of the year, I liked Derrick Rose. We'll talk about Kemba, I'm sure, as the season goes on. But I like Derrick Rose. I like that one. I like it so much that I agreed with you. And last but not least, you got Mike Malone. Now this is another coast to coast favorite because he's another one that you and me, both of ours. I feel like we don't learn our lesson because my coach of the year is a guy that I'm pretty sure I've picked year after year. Mike Malone has been picked year after year on this channel, and look at us both not learning our lesson. But Mike Malone, I get it. Jamal Murray's gonna be back. The team should be healthier this year. They made some solid small moves. They're supposedly gonna let Michael Porter Jr. free and loose this year. So the Nuggets should only make a step up. I'm assuming that's what your argument is for Mike Malone.
Yeah. As much as like I said, I see you guys putting Michael Porter Jr. in there as well. I do think he's gonna have a big enough year.
Yeah.
But coming from where Chicago was last year, the years before. We've seen this steady incline with Denver, and especially with Michael Porter Jr. We've already been seeing, we predicted, blah, 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 blah. Nobody saw Chicago having this kind of offseason, and as well as Lonzo continuing to progress as a player.
Yep.
So that's why I have him there. But still, like I said, I still think that Michael Porter Jr. is going to have an awesome season. I do think he's going to take a step up on the defensive side.
Oh, that's what I was like. What are you laughing at? Oh, yeah, that's okay.
That was the one thing I will always knock on him. I was like, man,
everyone will. He's stiff. Yeah, no, everyone's going to knock on his defense. Nah, you are not alone. You are not alone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank God. Because every time I was like, man, anybody can get 30 on this
dude. Right.
So I think he will take a step up on there. And I think he's gonna, right there with Jokic, he's gonna be able to be like, yo, I'm 1A or 1B too. Not just, oh, he's the secondary option. No, I'm 1A or 1B. So I expect big things out of him, and that's what's going to propel them to be on my list as the top team in the West.
Okay.
So
no, I do not hate it. So for one more time, Brandon's list: MVP, Donovan Mitchell, Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green, Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year, Lonzo Ball, Most Improved, Mr. Derrick Rose, Sixth Man Coach of the Year, Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets. Now, I realize I have not been keeping up with the poll. I'm so sorry about that. And right now, the winner is other as far as the MVP conversation. So this is where it's going to get tricky. I knew y'all was going to make this hard on me. Who then, chat? Just put your name in the chat, and whoever I see the most of, that's who I'm going to mark y'all down as your MVP, okay? So just chat right now. Chat, just put the last name of the person you think is going to be MVP. Who I see the most of, that's who I'm marking it down for the chat. All right? And go. So while they do that, I'm going to go over my list. We're going to go over who I got on my list. And it's still up. So there it is. You see mine. I got Luka Doncic, Don Luka as MVP this year. I think this is the year. Jalen Green, Rookie of the Year. Bam! I went on a limb on this one. Bam as Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Porter Jr., Most Improved, Sixth Man of the Year, Derrick Rose, and Coach of the Year for the fourth year in a row. I'm trying it. I'm going for it. Quinn Snyder, right? Yes, Mr. Eyes, Mr. Bulging Eyes. Yeah. Let me go down this. I'm gonna keep it quick because I want to talk about our standings. Can't wait to talk about our standings. But yeah, MVP Luka Doncic, Don Luka. Honestly, the only thing that I felt like that kept him away from getting MVP last year was Giannis, or not Giannis, sorry, the Nuggets, Jokic. Like you said, yeah, Jokic. Like you said, it's all about narratives and the narrative behind the Nuggets and their crazy season and all the crazy things that Nikola Jokic was doing at the center position, like that just outweighs the crazy stat lines and the crazy games that Luka had last year. So that magic was lived. We enjoyed that magic. I think the Luka magic is going to take that step. But what's important for this is the others on that Mavericks team. The Mavericks team is it's okay. But because of Luka, they're going to be in a 6 through 8 seed or 6 through 10 seed, whatever the play-in is, because of Luka's play. And I think that that's the reason why the narrative this year is going to go in the direction of Luka Doncic in his, fourth season. I think, his stat line is incredible. I think he's going to have another 25-plus, 8.8, 8.8 type of season. I said it twice on purpose because I'm talking about rebounds and assists, and a plus on all those because it could be 9 and 9 or whatever the case may be. I think it's gonna be a narrative-driven season for Luka Doncic this year, and people already love to talk about Luka and show his highlights enough. So I think that that's gonna just help with him get those votes. So I just think that if the Mavericks just go in the right direction and they start off a lot better than they did last year, I think that Luka Doncic can get the MVP this year. Very big if. Very, very big if.
I mean big if because they got a big guy that sometimes wants to play, sometimes he doesn't.
In the words of one of my favorite TikTokers. Who? Anyways, moving on to the Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green. That's just, like Brandon put it perfectly. He's just going to get buckets this year. He's just going to get buckets. I watched that. I know it's preseason, but I watched them play the Heat, and even though the Heat still ended up beating them, Jalen Green had no problem scoring on some of the better defenders in the NBA. Now, mind you, it's preseason, so they probably weren't playing full. Jalen Green going to be a bucket this year. Jalen Green is going to have a nice stat line. He's going to look good. People are going to be excited about highlights that he's going to have. I think it's going to be a close competition between him. I think James Bouknight might surprise a lot of people. I think he might jump up in the Rookie of the Year conversation. Obviously, Cade. It's up to Cade, though, what he does this year. Evan Mobley has all the opportunity as well, but I'm going with my man Jalen Green. I think he's just going to be a bucket in Houston, point blank period. Now, Defensive Player of the Year, this one is I had to go on a limb on one of these, and I went with Bam Adebayo. I was looking at AD, and you know what? I just might change it to AD at the midpoint when we do our changes. He might be one of my three. I was looking at like Clint Capella. I wanted this one to be my curveball. I was looking at Clint Capella just because I feel like what he did defensively once the coaching changed last year. I think that now with a full season, we could see Clint Capella doing some nonsense defensively this year, and they could put him in the conversation. Bam Adebayo, same thing. The problem with Bam Adebayo is he fizzled out because this dude was doing everything defensively as far as guarding the perimeter and guarding the paint. So I feel like if he does that for a full season, he's going to be in the conversation this year. So that's my off a limb pick, honestly. He might be the one I change, but I feel good about Bam doing it, and I think Miami's defense is going to be pretty suffocating. As a Knicks fan that hates the Miami Heat, they always put us in our place defensively, so I got to give some respect over there. Michael Porter Jr., simple as this. As most improved, simple as this, Brandon Warren. The reason why you got Coach of the Year as Mike Malone is going to be a lot to do with Michael Porter being most improved. Now, you put up a good point saying that he's been improving slightly throughout his entire career. But the thing is, though, we talked about his big, fat contract. And a lot of the little fine lines in there has to do with him making a lot of All-NBA teams. So he's going to be let loose. He's going to be going out there trying to be the number one scorer on this team. We know Jokic is going to be the main guy. We know Jamal's going to do what Jamal does. But this guy's going to go out there trying to be the main scorer for this team. I think he will succeed because if there's anything he does do well, that is score the damn ball on this team. Defensively, you got more faith than I do, but luckily that doesn't matter in most improved. So I think I don't have to worry about that. But I just think that he's just going to be going after those incentives. Not saying that that's going to be his driving force. I just feel like it's going to be the Nuggets wouldn't have given it to him if they weren't going to give him the shot. If Mike Malone wasn't going to give him the shot to be a superstar, an all-star in this league. I think he's going to go for all-star. I think all those kind of things are going to be going next step for Michael Porter Jr. And I think that his stat line is just going to be crazy. So I just thought it made more sense for most.
That's fair.
Derrick Rose, it hurt me not to put RJ Barrett as most improved, so I had to have a Nick on there. Got to go with my man Derrick Rose. Like you mentioned, though, I think Derrick Rose is he's going to be able to play his role the entire year. Nothing's going to come in his way. I think he's going to be a solid six-man of the year. I'm with you on that. And Quinn Snyder, I solely chose Quinn Snyder out of the meme because, look, y'all don't understand. Quinn Snyder has been picked and changed for almost 3 to 4, all 4 of our coast-to-coast seasons. So I'm like, you know what? This has to be the year. Quinn Snyder cannot always be the bridesmaid and never the bride. Quinn Snyder, this is the year, okay? If Brandon is right with his MVP, then that means that I'm going to be right with my coach of the year. If Brandon picked the MVP in Donovan Mitchell and he ends up having the MVP season, that's because of Quinn Snyder putting him in the situation to do that. So, Quinn, this is your year, big guy. All right, we can get you on all the. No, let me not do that. I'm not going to go after Quinn Snyder like that. But Quinn Snyder, I think that the Jazz had a good season last year. I think that they pretty much stayed the same and adding and going to be healthy and rada. I think the Jazz are going to be fun. Quinn Snyder, I'm looking at Quinn Snyder. Bridesmaid is going to finally get proposed to, and he's going to be a bride this year. I'm telling you. Go ahead, Quinn. Do you have any objections on anybody on my list as you say that?
I mean, salute to that wonderful speech, man. Like, I hear you. Your battle cry for your coach to get coach of the year. That was.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Chef's kiss, baby. Chef's kiss.
Come on, Quinn.
So.
All right. All right. Well, the chat, y'all did not give me a solidified MVP. So if you guys don't give me anything, I'm gonna have to go with the second vote, and that's Giannis. Giannis has 24%, and KD got 23%. Y'all not giving me no names. I have 4 separate names. I have Embiid, Randall, KD, and Luka.
Yo, stop giving this man Giannis MVPs because
Right.
when he wins them, he doesn't win nothing else. So just let him work towards just winning titles. That's it.
Yeah, man.
So
Edgar,
stop giving him.
Edgar said, "How salty would I be if Mitchell won MVP with Snyder still didn't get Coach of the Year?" I would at that point I would just feel bad because if you look it up, look at the race for Coach of the Year for the last 5 seasons, and he was in the running for at least 3 of those 5 years. So if he did it again and he got rookie MVP with Donovan Mitchell, I would just like, Coach Snyder's never gonna get it. It's just not meant to happen.
Oh no, Tom got it last year.
Yeah, but as he should have, and if
That's
it wasn't
fine.
gonna
Yeah,
be him,
no,
it should have been
deserved.
Monty. Yeah, if it wasn't Tom, it should have been Monty. So no, I think that last year. I mean, but he was in it too, though. I just remember the Jazz had the year they had. Yeah, man. Yo, Quinn, man, just know that I've been out here trying to get it for you, bro. But last year, it went to the right guy. It went to the right guy last year. All right. Okay, so yeah, see the MVP. No, it's not happening. All right, I'm just gonna go with second because y'all can't come to consensus. This is just like any other game. It's just like Among Us. If y'all can't agree on one, then nobody wins. So we're going to the second overall. And sorry, Brandon, the chat MVP is gonna be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm seeing a couple. I think this is Nick's bias too. Some Randalls in there. So
do you see multiple like from separate people?
I see multiple Randalls
From separate people.
from separate people.
And you go chat. Understand you're talking for everybody, so be careful. I love me some Julius, but be careful.
I get it. That man is like solid gold for y'all right now, but if Julius Randle wins MVP of the NBA, I almost cursed. If he wins MVP of the NBA right now, do you know how that's like how many people got hurt?
Not only that, yeah, we had to be first seed. Like we had to have a tremendous season, had to be first seed for that to happen.
How many people got hurt for Julius Randle to be MVP? That's no slight to the New York Knicks.
But I was gonna say, Julius Randle's stats last year were solid. If he has that same stat line and the Knicks were a first or a second seed, that's not MVP season.
That's just so it just seems
40% from 3, 46 from the field, 20. You know what I mean?
Do you think he's gonna do that again?
I'm saying, but that's
Honestly.
but that's my hypothetical is if he has a similar stat line, and on top of that, the Knicks then go from 4 to second or first or third. I think there's an argument for it. Now, do I think he's gonna do it again? I hope so. I really think that he can have a similar stat line. I think the percentages will go down a little bit. I don't think he's going to shoot another 40% three-point season. I think it'd be like 38, like high 38, maybe 39. But I think the points are going to be there because I watched this man quietly get 20 and 9 in that first game. I only remember him making like 3 threes, and he had 20 points. I don't remember it happening. And if that's going to be our season this year, then I think he can do it again. But yeah, I think there's factors there, but I don't know if I can. I don't know. It's up to you, chat. See, look, someone said Ben Simmons. All right, you know what, chat? I'm sorry. I'm revoking y'all. No, we're going with second best vote, and that's Giannis. So the chat's MVP is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Sorry, chat. Look, y'all ruin it for each other. All right, MVP Giannis. Nah, I can't. This is why y'all can't have nice things, man. All right, now I'm gonna do Rookie of the Year. I'm just gonna pick the top 4 rookies, and then I'll put other. And if you guys can come to a agreement, then we'll go with that. But anyways, yeah. So those are our predictions for the award race. We're still gonna have you guys voting for the awards, but now let's go through our standings predictions. I'm not gonna do Nick's. I'm gonna have Nick defend himself because we can look at Nick and we can point and laugh, but I want to hear the reasoning. So we're gonna have Nick talk about his next week. I will remember. We're gonna have Nick talk about his. For right now, we're just gonna talk about me and B's, and then we're gonna send you guys off on your merry Sunday so you guys catch the second half of y'all games. So yeah, let me pull up. Hold on. Sorry. I didn't even add it there. Brandon, if you want to read some of the chat real quick while I move your predictions over real quick.
Yeah. Last season, if it wasn't Tips, it would have been Snyder. I agree. It's not Nick's bias. He's going to make another leap. He's already an All-NBA second team. That's his first time being an All-NBA second team. So, I do like Julius. I do think he is a good player. But I do not see him being that third, second tier of NBA players.
Oof.
That's my only concern. I hope he does continue that trend for you guys, but I just hard to say right now. It's hard to say. Because it was a contract year. Remember what I told y'all about contract years?
Oh yeah, remember we both feel the same way. Yeah, contract years are important. I'll never forget Andre Drummond's contract year. Never saw that again.
Absolutely would. Basically, Nikola Jokic stat line from last season. If you're referencing Julius to have that, woof. All right. I think percentages are going to go up. Again, I hope you guys are right. I just don't know. I genuinely just don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Oh man, I think I picked the wrong colors on the wrong side. Whatever. I think you guys can see it. It's fine. We'll make it work. All right. So we're gonna start off with Brandon Warren's standings real quick. I'm gonna add a new poll for the Rookie of the Year for you guys here in just a second. But yeah, Brandon, we're gonna talk about your standings first, man. And like I said, we'll talk about Coda. We'll talk about Nick's standings next week. But let's go on to Brandon Warren's Warr World standings.
Warr's World, Planet Rock.
There it is. We got we got your list up on the screen. We got the Nuggets. Western Conference. We got Nuggets 1, Jazz 2, Lakers 3, Suns 4, Clippers 5, Mavericks 6, Blazers 7, Kings 8. That was the one right there. Kings at 8. And then
you guys got to remember play-in games.
Oh, I know. But even then, the Kings.
I know.
Please.
I know.
Please.
So, and I think the Warriors are going to be in that conversation too with the Kings as far as the play-in. Why I picked the Kings?
That's what
literally just because there's no
because the West.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Right.
You never know what's gonna happen, who's gonna be there at the end. Freaking, we had New Orleans in the play-in tournament last season. They were like 8 games behind out of the A seed. So, they weren't in the play, but they were still like mathematically still considered, even though they shouldn't be. And I think the Grizzlies were another team where they legitimately had no business being an A seed just because of record wise, but they made it. So reason being, I feel like the Warriors might have another like injury riddled season. It's sad to say that because I do like watching Steph Curry, Klay Thompson play. They just got Iggy back too, so I do enjoy playing them. But I just have a feeling that they would be injury
fall off. Okay.
Yeah. Pick Denver because again, I think Michael Porter Jr. is just gonna explode this year, and that tandem of him and Jokic is gonna be really, really nice. Utah, they kept a lot of their core players, still have that same unit, so they're still gonna be pretty damn good. Lakers, I feel like we're going to be a slow burn. I saw them either 3 or 4. I'm going to go put them at 3 just for right now. But I think we're going to be a solid team. I'm not as high as everybody else as like championship. That's it. We're winning, blah, blah, blah. No.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm not like that at all right now.
I get that.
And now if we beat the Brooklyn, I might come on this show and be, little feeling myself, but
I'm gonna be right there with you. I'll probably even be wearing a Laker jersey with you, man. If y'all go and beat Brooklyn, I'm right there with you. I'll be right.
Kyle Kuzma jersey.
I'm talking about Lakers. Kyle Kuzma is a wizard. We can move
on. 4 at Suns. I think they're gonna continue their momentum, but the league's gonna catch up with them a little bit. I definitely think it was a dream season for them last year. Everything was just put together.
I'm sorry, who was this?
Number 4, Suns.
Suns.
Clippers, as much as I don't like them, they're still going to be a solid team in the NBA, even with or without Kawhi. So I put them at 5. Mavericks, they essentially kept their same team. They got a little bit more shooting. I don't think that's going to be enough to carry and help out Luka. So I say them taking a little bit of a dip. Blazers, I think they're going to find a way to make it work, but as much as they possibly can, just because there's only so far you can go with Lillard and McCollum. I think the furthest you saw them get was the Western Conference,
right?
and they got blown out. That was at the point where I think you had to realize as an organization that, hey, that was our peak.
Yep.
So I see them at 7, and then like I said, the Kings. You never know what I'm looking for an NCAA tournament like style where you're just like, whoa, where did the Kings come from and why are they in this? That's what I'm playing
way
for.
Way more
Hopefully
faithful than me, bro.
Yeah.
Way
Luke
more
Walton, baby.
Oh Lord, well, not faithful. Hopeful is what I meant. Not faithful. You know, I know you're not faithful to the segment. I mean hopeful. All right, that's good for the West. I see what you're saying. But now the East. I'm seeing the chat is very they have questions about the East. I don't think it's too crazy. But yeah, talk on it. You got Nets up top. Bucks number 2, defending champions at number 2. Hawks taking the Sixers spot at 3. Bulls at 4. Sixers at 5. Knicks at 6. Celtics at 7. And LaMelo and his Hornets slipping up at 8.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
When I sent this over to Chris, there was a lot of scratching out because I think that it's going to be a very close, tight battle. I think it's going to be like any other Eastern Conference where 1 through 3 are going to be very, very close. And then 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, they're going to be, a few games in between where anybody can jump anywhere. I chose Brooklyn at top just because it's Brooklyn. I mean, there's no denying they're probably going to run the show. The Bucks coming off a championship, I think they have a chance to be 3rd. Reason being championship hangover. I think Giannis is still going to do great things, but let's see how they react to winning that title. Atlanta carrying that same momentum they had last year. I think they can only go so far with what they have, but I still see them as being a very good regular season team. Bulls, my big surprise here. I had them either 4 or 5. I put them at 4 just because I want to see Lonzo carry that team. I know everybody's saying he's not that dude or he's not that kind of caliber.
Not
dude,
me.
I think
Preach on.
I think he's gonna make Zach LaVine that much better than what Zach LaVine already is.
Go ahead.
So hopefully that Philly is the big one. I had him as low as 8, but this is the highest I'll ever go with them, just because I don't know what the Ben Simmons situation is. Until that gets figured out, more than likely is going to be my change up.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, we always have that flip around you could do.
I had New York highest as 4, but then I kept them at 6. I think continuing to have you guys as that underdog is only going to make you guys better, in a sense of nobody saw New York do what they did last year.
Right.
Nobody's seen New York do what they can do this year again. In a sense of, can you guys make back-to-back playoffs? Are you guys going to continue to improve? I saw you guys brought back a lot of those pieces, and then you brought in a couple more to help out your team. Like, what's his name? Kemba Walker. Y'all gonna hate that man on the defensive end, but hopefully everything works out where he's healthy enough and he can maintain that starting position for y'all. 7, Boston. Boston, I had no idea where to put them. That's a team that could be as high as number 2, but then be as low as number 8 for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Last year we saw Boston not perform well at all and barely snuck into the playoffs. So again, don't know exactly where to put them, but they're going to be one of those wild card teams that are going to be up and down.
Yeah.
Hornets, again, you gotta love how LaMelo plays.
Yes, sir.
I think he's definitely more capable than even what he's getting right now. And I can't wait to see what he can lead that team with. New multi-million-dollar man. What's his name? Used to play for Boston.
Gordon Hayward.
No. Oh, I know Gordon got his money. But I'm talking about.
Oh, Rozier. Terry
Rozier. So that tandem's going to be pretty good, and I think they're going to build off of what they had last year, and hopefully LaMelo stays healthy, so that way they can make playoffs.
Okay. All right. No, you know what? I the Knicks one is probably the only one I got a little issue with, but at the same time, I don't think it's realistic. That's the problem. Like I know people are gonna have a problem with that, but it's realistic. And I've said it on my channel. I've said it on Knicks Fan TV. I've said it everywhere. Like there's that possibility that the Knicks can be as high as 3, but as low as like 6. I don't see us being a play-in team. I think we are going to be in the midst of the playoffs. I think we need to start looking at ourselves as a tier 2 team. But yeah, I just think that the East is just gonna they made steps, so I think that there's a possibility that we can have a good season and still end up being like a 5 or a 6, and I think that's a possibility for sure. I like the Hornets one. You're better than me. I'm gonna show you guys mine in a second. I unfortunately did not go with the Hornets. I do think they'll be playing again. I just think that they're one more season away from getting there. I think they're still a little too young. But I like it. I would be fine being wrong with that because I think that they do have a fun bunch of dudes. I think they're gonna be a fun team. And the Bulls, you got them high. You got them at 4. And then giving the Nets the lead over the Bucks. The Sixers at 5. Our own Edgar Allan Fro said that he has them out of the playoff.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, I have the Sixers out of the playoffs." But yeah, okay. I don't hate these. I'm put them up one more time for you guys to see them. The West on the left, East on the right. Those are Warren's standing predictions. Way too early predictions. Remember these, clip these, and then we'll talk about them until the All-Star break, and we'll see if we make some changes or if we're on point. But let me show you mine real quick. There's a few differences actually. Quite a bit of differences between the two of ours, which is that's good. That's what I want. I want them to be different. I don't want them all to be the same. So I think that's good. I got mine. For the Western Conference, like you, I have Nuggets and then Jazz. But then I'm giving the Suns the 3 and giving you guys the 4. I'll explain that in a second. Mavericks, my MVP to be Luka at the 5 seed. But again, that's me with a lot of ifs, thinking that the ifs fall through. 6 Clippers. Paul George is gonna do what he can, but only so much he can do by himself. I'm gonna give some respect to the Warriors. Put them at 7, and the Blazers. That one is a play-in victory. I don't think that they get the 8 seed. I think they could be like a 10 or a 9 because of that team. But I think Damian Lillard pulls it off in the play-in and gives them the 8 seed. A lot like what Brandon was saying with the Kings. I just don't think the Blazers are as solidified of a playoff team as they once were, especially with the additions in quotations that they made this past offseason, because there wasn't many additions. That's the point I'm trying to make. I think they win the play-in and they get to the 8th seed. Warriors, I think they survive the play-in and they stay at the 7th. Clippers, I think that they can be anywhere from 4 to 6. I just think that, Paul George is going to do what he can. I think the team is going to play a lot of good team ball. I think Clippers are going to be fun. I think they could surprise and be a high seed. But just for the sake of right now, I'm going to keep the Clippers at 6. Mavericks, I'm just going off of all the positives that should happen for the team actually going right for them. And I think they get the 5th seed. I know that's not good for our draft stock. Chat, I know Knicks fans are going to be like, but CK, that's not good for... I get it, but I don't care. I like where we're at. Lakers, I put them at the 4 because strictly the Lakers don't care about where they stand. The Lakers are just, let's get in and then we work from there. I think the Lakers, there's going to be a lot of growing pains this season in good and bad ways. A lot of vets on the team. Getting used to each other, guys missing games for stuff. They're going to get through it and be like a 4th seed. And then once they get into the playoffs, then the run's going to really begin. So I'll put the Lakers at 4. Suns, I think that they're going to play the same type of way. People are going to be ready for them, but they're still not going to have an answer for it. So I put them at 3. Jazz and Nuggets, I feel like are a toss-up. I just like the Nuggets' weapons a little bit more now that they're getting Jamal Murray back. So I got the Nuggets at 1st. Do you have any objections, Mr. Warren?
No, I like... Yours is definitely a lot more centered. Mine is very much like, I would like to see this just because.
No, you're taking chances. I respect that. No, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yours is definitely more grounded and makes much more sense. Let's see. Now the I think that's where Warriors would be. I think the Clippers
could be higher.
If I could find a way, I would boot them completely. But yeah, sure, 6 is fine. Yeah.
I think, look, man, and look, I think I'm alone on this take. I think that people aren't ready to accept the take. I've said it. I don't know how I necessarily completely feel about the Kawhi and Paul George tandem. I'm not really sold on it. I like Paul George by himself.
Kawhi and you tandem.
Hilarious.
Kawhi and Ewing.
I like Paul George by himself. I think they're gonna play a high level of team basketball that's gonna be very productive for them. It's gonna reminisce of what 2 seasons ago, when they still had Harrell and they had Lou Will. I think that the team ball on that team is gonna be very nice. The ball's gonna fizz around. I think the Clippers are gonna be pretty solid, but playoffs, I don't know how far they're gonna get with just Paul George. But yeah. That's really all I had.
I like
the Mavericks. The Mavericks was my real anomaly, to be real with you. I think 5 might be a little high, but I think Luka's gonna be just that good this year.
They're your Boston team. I get it.
Correct. Yeah. And then Warriors and Blazers gonna be both playing victories there. Cool. All right, now East. You know what? Maybe it's because of my stubbornness. Maybe it's because I'm gonna give Giannis some respect. But I got the Bucks at 1. I'm gonna keep the Bucks, the defending champions, at the 1 seed. The Bucks love the regular season. Brandon brings up a good point that they might have a little bit of a championship hangover. That's very possible. But one thing the Bucks always do is they always have tremendous regular seasons. Mike Budenholzer is a pro at the regular season. So I'm going to give them a respect, especially with everything the Nets are going to be going through. I think that there's a high possibility that they still win a lot of games, but they can be a 2nd or 3rd seed. So I'm going to give the Bucks a benefit of the doubt, give them the 1st seed. The Nets.
Like the bets.
The bets, yeah. Let's go bets. That's the Bucks and Nets put together, and I'd much rather watch that team. They'd probably be like the South Dakota Bets, but whatever. Anyways, I don't know. Anyways, Bucks at 1, Nets at 2. I mean, it's Brooklyn Nets. Even without Kyrie Irving, I think that they got a good assortment of dudes in the East to do what they got to do to get a 2nd seed. But I can definitely see them dropping to the 3rd seed if a bad scenario happens for them. Heat at 3. I think that's the one that people are going to get pissed off about. I like the mesh of players. A lot of people don't. I'm a fan of it. I think the defense is there. I think people forget how good of a defender Kyle Lowry is at his size. The dude right next to our own Kemba Walker is one of the best at drawing charges. With the way that this team is going to play defensively, I like Kyle Lowry fitting there. And then now on top of that, he just adds another offensive weapon for them. I like the Heat, man. I don't know how far they're going to do in the playoffs. They had a year of rest after, the bubble and then going into last season. I like the Heat this year, so I'm going to put them at 3. I hate them, but I like them for my standings.
You're expecting better play from Jimmy this year, huh?
Well, 1,000%. He better play better after having that whole season off. Yeah, Jimmy Butler better play. Tyler Hero, I'm not a fan of him, but he better play better too. So I'm looking at them. I had to have my Knicks at 4. I almost put them at 3, but I want to humble myself and my Knicks a little bit. I kept us at 4. I think we have a better record, but still stay at 4. I see us getting around 47, 40, 46, 47, 48. One of those 3 numbers at the win column. I like us at 4. I want to put the Hawks up above us, but I couldn't do it for 2 reasons. A, I'm petty, and B, I don't know if the momentum continues on this season. I think that they are a predictable team. I think with the new rule change, if the refs go through with it, which they probably will not, I don't know. Trey's still going to have a nice season, but I think that the people are going to be ready for them defensively. I think that they have a lot to figure out with their forward position. Will John Collins have another season after he got signed? Like Brandon mentioned, last year was a contract year. He got his contract. Now what? I think there's a lot of question marks. Where will Cam fit? They're going to try and force Cam in there. Will Danilo play? Like, there's a lot of question marks for that Hawks team. They're still nicely put together, but there's a lot of question marks. So I think that, like the Knicks, they have a similar record, but they stay put at 5. Hawks, we forget the Hawks. They were running the mill in the regular season last year, but they did what they had to do in the playoffs. I think it's gonna be close to that, but So maybe it's my petty talking, but I think they'll be at 5. Sixers, I put them down at 6 just because I just don't know how you replace Ben Simmons' defense. The offense we could talk about, sure. But I just don't know how you replace Ben Simmons' defense, and when is that trade going to happen? I can definitely see myself moving the Sixers in the middle of the season when we do our change-ups. But as of right now, I don't know when Ben Simmons gets traded. I don't know how they look with Ben Simmons not in the lineup right now and then not having a replacement for him. So the Sixers still have enough to be a playoff team in the East, but I got them at 6. So I'm putting them there.
They definitely gotta figure that out. They're gonna lose regardless on that trade.
Yeah,
I hope they don't come out and think, oh, we won this trade because we got rid of it. No, you're winning. You're losing. Yeah. You're definitely losing.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, unless they go out there and fleece the Sacramento Kings and steal one of those point guards, I'm going to keep talking about this. If they get a Tyrese Halliburton, Sixers is going to be scary. I know he's young, but long term, that's going to be scary. They get De'Aaron Fox, Sixers going to be scary. They get Davion Mitchell as their starting point guard with his grit and the way he plays, and they're going to be scary. I think that those are all great fill-ins that can replace Ben Simmons. Maybe not right now, but they would be good help for Joel Embiid and what else they got, Tobias Harris and those guys. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, I got Sixers at 6, and then I got the Bulls 7. People were saying I got the Bulls too low, and you guys know Lonzo's my guy. I think they're going to be fun. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I think that they're going to make things work. I think that they're good. It's going to be a good team. I just don't know if I can put them ahead of the Knicks. They're in that same tier with us. They're in the second tier with the Knicks, the Hawks, and all of them. I just don't know if I could put them ahead of us. I like our depth better than their depth. They're gonna be on top of the highlight reels. They're gonna be fun. Lonzo's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a revelation for that team. Caruso is gonna be great for that team. But their lack of stretch bigs. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. Like, you know, they got. In some instances, I saw them put Zach LaVine at the 4. They got DeMar playing the 4 in some instances. Like, I just don't know. I understand it's positionless ball, but when you have Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan guarding Julius Randle, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So
definitely have like a new makeup. Like, you remember Boston a couple years ago?
Yeah.
That's they kind of like they look very familiar to that team for some reason.
They're gonna have a lot of matchup problems. I think they're gonna be fun. They're gonna win a lot of those nice games. I know we should get, you know, people are buying high because of the first 2 preseason games, and you know I want to see Lonzo go out there and have that kind of season. I just don't like the matchup problems with, like, put the Bulls against the Bucks, put the Bulls against the Sixers, put the Bulls against the Knicks, put the Bulls against the Hawks. The matchup problems are going to be there for them, and I don't know. I think they're going to be nice. They're going to be fun, but in their first season together, I think they're going to be a 7th seed, and then they're going to make a big move in the offseason, get a Mo Bamba or some kind of stretch big outfit. They go steal Bol or something like that. But for right now, yeah. And then I got Celtics at 8 just because respect to Jason Tatum. That's it. I'm not a fan of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown together. I like them individually. I'm just not a fan of them together. I don't think they really did enough. And as Cantor is what they tried to do to replace. I don't know. But I will give them respect. And I'm seeing the chat, and that was my next comment. The Pacers. Now I was going.
What's up with that?
I like the Pacers, and I see the Pacers ending the season at like 8 or 7 if healthy. Remember, a lot of injury-prone players on that team. LeVert, Brogdon, their main guy in Sabonis. Like, a lot of injury problems. Miles Turner. Their entire team is injury prone. But if they're in a perfect world, they're all healthy, they're definitely a team to be worried about in the Eastern Conference. But like I said, I have them if they could end the regular season at 7 or 8, but I don't think they win the play-in. That's where I have them. I'll put the Celtics or the Bulls beating them in a play-in. So that's why I ultimately have these as my standings. But again, the same thing. The Mavericks. A lot of things have to go right for the Pacers because their whole starting 5 is injury prone. Is TJ Warren going to be back in time? You know, there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts with the Pacers for me. I like that team. I like the makeup, but a lot of them are injury prone, so I can't do it.
That's fair. And they got to figure out their center situation too.
Yeah.
I don't think you can keep both and just keep doing what they're doing.
We'll take them. You can give us Miles. Let me just see how Mitch does first before I talk about Miles Turner. But we'll take Miles Turner. Shoot, Tibbs would love Miles Turner.
You would take Miles Turner or the proven All-Star.
I got Julius Randle. Give me Miles Turner.
Okay.
They can keep Sabonis.
That would be a nice pickup for y'all. I would
Miles Turner or Sabonis?
Okay. No, Turner.
Yeah.
I would support that trade.
Yeah, because he could stretch. He gives us the same post defense or rim protection. Like he would fit perfectly next to Julius and the guys that we got. I think it would be a good trade. Love you, Mitch, and I hope that you pan out to be who I think you're going to be. But if that had to be the trade, I'm gonna be real. I'd pull that trigger. I'm sorry. Be completely real with you. I'd pull that trigger.
I like that.
MH saying Knicks range is 5 to 9. Damn, that's a little bit.
That's
a lot of people.
Playoffs.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's not much belief at all. I get it. Lakers range 1 to 3. Okay, look, this is a Knicks fan saying he got more belief in the Lakers than us. All right, respect.
People are upset. Burn, man.
I'm telling you, Lakers. They're going to just tiptoe through the regular season, win the games they need to win, and then it's the playoffs is when they're going to turn it on. That's what, because they got all those vets that are going to turn it on in the playoffs. I think that's when they're going to kick it in. the Chicago one, people were very upset with the Chicago one. I like Chicago, and I hope I'm wrong because I like what's his name, Lonzo Ball. Caruso is gonna be fun. Like they got guys. I don't know. Patrick Williams, is he gonna turn out like? I feel like they got matchup issues over there. So we'll see how they do when they play good teams. But that's just my thoughts on it. But yeah. I like both. I like your standings. I like my standings. Nick's standings, though, I wanted to show y'all, but I'm gonna wait for him to come here and defend himself because he made some proclamations that are outrageous for
proclamations.
Sure. Yeah,
you don't hear that word too often.
So I have the MVP and the Rookie of the Year jotted down for you guys. We're going to get the rest of them in next week's show. We had a lot to talk about today that I just was not paying attention to the polls. So I have you guys down for those ones, and I'll get the rest of them next week. Like I had been mentioning, this is the first and the only episode of Coast to Coast that will be here on CK2K. We have our own Coast to Coast channel. CK, why aren't you linking it yet? You're right. I completely forgot to link it because I was so into our conversation. Let me link it now. Hold on. Give me a second so I can find the damn channel so I can link it to y'all. But, yeah, the Coast to Coast will be on its own, living on its own channel. We will also be doing, we'll be taking clips and putting them on there as well. Updates and things like that. Coast to Coast stuff will be over on everything on the Coast to Coast channel that lives on its own.
It's gonna be more than just a podcast, y'all. It's definitely gonna be. We want to evolve that channel. We want to grow it than just, like I said, our weekly Sunday rants. So be on the lookout for other videos. I know Nick has some ideas. I have some ideas. Chris, as the entrepreneur that he is, he has some wonderful ideas too.
It's gonna be fun, man.
So be on the lookout. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It's gonna greatly appreciate all of us. And we're excited. Man. We're excited to be back.
What was that? Sorry, what was that? I appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining the members. I'm gonna drop the channel right now. And yeah, Brandon, everything Brandon said, 1000%. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this damn link. Found it. All right, we're good. Coast to Coast channel. Boom. All right, I'm gonna drop the link right now. I'm gonna give you guys a few seconds to go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna talk about it in my videos throughout the week as well. Be on the lookout. There's gonna be uploads throughout the week because I'm gonna be cutting this show up and putting it on there. Where are we? There you guys are.
We're on planet Earth.
We are on Earth. There it is. That's a link for the Coast to Coast YouTube channel. It will be up on my channel when I finally put it up there. Link is also gonna be in the description. The signature CK clear throat. Yeah, it happens to me a lot, man. Deep voice problems. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, fun times, man. Fun times. Warr, I like your predictions. I like them this year. This year's gonna be fun, man. This year is going to be fun. I like the predictions that we have across the board. I like the gambles. I like the solid picks. We got Donovan Mitchell as a MVP candidate. Like, you know what I mean? We're having fun. We're gonna have fun this year. We got to run the music before we go anywhere. But we'll catch up on the chat real quick before we get out. As always, guys, you know the deal. Find us on audio-only versions as well, everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, we will be there. Make sure you guys go and check us out. Go show us some love and listen to the show if you guys want to listen to the show outside of just the video form, or go subscribe to the channel. You can listen to a video form there.
Before we go, too, I've been working on my CK impressions, and I need chat to let me know if we've been, are we close or are we way off the mark? I see some people mentioning run the intro. Yeah, like I see it all the time. I love it, and I know it's like a staple of Chris. So run the intro.
You gotta put more energy. Yeah, there needs to be more energy in it. Like
the intro.
All is in the run. Run the intro. It's all in the run.
Run the intro.
All right, I'll take that one. Yeah. I'll take that one. My man CL Kendrick put he put the Bayesian twang to it. He said, "Run the intro" with the D.
Yeah, I saw that
with a D. Anyways, Warr's will invite you to join the Blowers channel while we talk mostly Knicks. I invited you plenty of times, but he said no. I didn't say no. The man is on at all the worst times for me. But yeah, shout out to everyone that does what they do over in Blowers. I love all the channels, all the Knicks content creators. You guys know that. But anyways, run the Tillman show. Shout out to Steve. I know Steve came through before he had to go. But anyways, yeah, we out of here. Subscribe to the channel. Link is in the description. I'm gonna pin it for you guys. It's also in the chat. All right, we're out of here. See you guys next week. Kodo will be here. We have a fun segment. Y'all know what the segment is. Stay tuned next week. It's gonna be fun. All right, we out of here. Y'all be blessed.
Love y'all.
Peace.